Scott G. Winterton, Deseret News Houston. 3 thoughts on the 116-108 Utah Jazz win over the Houston Rockets from KSL.com's Jazz beat writer, Andy Larsen. 1. Jazz win the three-point battle against Houston. Remember how Game 1 was defined by the Rockets making seemingly every three-point shot they took. Whether it was contested or not, the Rockets made their three-point looks at a 53% rate in Game 1. Meanwhile, the Jazz struggled, making only 31% of theirs. In Game 2, the situation flip-flopped. Instead, the Jazz were on fire from 3, hitting 47% of theirs, while Houston only managed 10-37 shooting from deep, 27% in a loss. Was it simple shot luck? A lot of it was. You've heard "live by the three, die by the three" before. It's one of the most common phrases in basketball. The truth is that you now need the three-point shot in order to survive in the NBA, but when the shooting disparity is that big, it will determine the outcome of a lot of games. Jazz did a lot more to determine the kind of threes Houston took. James Harden still ended up with 10 three-point attempts, but all 10 were over guards rather than on switches on Utah's bigs. That meant that Harden's airspace was significantly reduced. Not all players are like this, but Harden is significantly more comfortable stepping at a big, creating space, and then stepping back and firing rather than taking shots like these triple-team videos. Remember in Game 1, 5 of Harden's threes were of the step-back variety, usually over switched big men. Tonight, all 10 of Harden's attempts were over smalls, usually with very little airspace. Twitter.com/3cupidfub73, Andy Larsen @AndyBlarsen, May 3, 2018. And then on the offensive end, the Jazz just made the right play to find Joe Ingles open time and time again. Giving Ingles 9 three-point shots isn't good defense, and he took full advantage by making 7 of them. He ended up leading the Jazz in scoring with 27 points. Donovan Mitchell did such good work in this game as a playmaker. This one, he gets around Ariza, forces the help, then stares at Favors to force Harden to help on him, then just kicks it to Ingles for the open three. Pic.twitter.com/enfacast9i, Andy Larsen @AndyBlarsen, May 3, 2018. See how this play worked? Donovan Mitchell pretends to use the screen but ends up just going right around Trevor Ariza. That forces PJ Tucker to rotate to the paint to stop Mitchell, who is staring at Tucker's man, Derek Favors, for the whole drive. That causes Harden to leave Ingles wide open to help on Favors, and he takes advantage. A lot of Ingles' threes were like that, either from Harden helping off of his man or, honestly, just too lax on the threat of Ingles shooting the ball. It's weird how teams are seemingly still capable of forgetting about one of the league's best three-point shooters, but Ingles is very okay with that. I guess Ingles sets Harden up with a jab step here, but this just isn't much of a contest, and then Harden honestly was just too lax. Like, I get that Ingles surprised him here, but this isn't really even a contest. Pic.twitter.com/Ju3Zensny, Andy Larsen @AndyBlarsen, May 3, 2018. Regardless, the Jazz rode that lax Houston defense to a Game 2 win. 2. Dante Exum adds to Jazz physical defense on the other end. Harden only really got going once, which was at the end of the first half. Other than that, the Jazz played some smart, physical defense on the presumptive MVP, never allowing him to get the switches he'd like to attack and forcing him to take shots he was uncomfortable with. Let's start with Dante Exum, who clearly bothered Harden with his length and physicality. The play was called a block on Exum, but I'm not sure that's the right call. Look how aggressively Exum closes out any and all airspace with Harden. As soon as Harden gets any, Exum runs out to take it away again. Dante Exum did a fantastic job of taking away Harden's airspace. He gets called for a foul here, but it's a dubious one. Exum gets bumped off the ball, and immediately comes back up, wanting more. It's great and sets a tone. Pic.twitter.com/Eve1up7asfs, Andy Larsen @AndyBlarsen, May 3, 2018. And then if they don't call a foul, you get Harden throwing up shots like the three-point video above or this bad floater. I think Dante has some size and some length, and we've had confidence in Dante taking difficult matchups, Jazz head coach Quinn Snyder said after the game. Update: ESPN's Sports and Information released this bit of info after the game. Exum matched up defensively with Harden 22 times, the most of any Jazz player. Harden scored 2 points in those possessions. Wow. The other thing that worked was the threat of Rudy Gobert. This is a constant for the Jazz, but many worried about Gobert having an impact in this series. I thought Gobert was big, though. There were times he wasn't aggressive enough, but this is perfect 2 versus 1 defense to get a block on Harden while still dissuading the lob pass. If Gobert plays like he did during the highs of this game, he's going to be great in this Houston series. There just aren't players like this who can play center field on Harden, Capella pick and roll to get a block and prevent the lob. Pic.twitter.com/oopmaliger, Andy Larsen @AndyBlarsen, May 3, 2018. And when Houston tried to play Gobert off the court with an all-small ball lineup, Gobert handled it. He comes down in the paint here to help on Harden, but then closes out quickly on PJ Tucker to force Tucker to become a driver. He thinks it's going to be easy to go around Gobert, but he ends up taking a bad layup attempt that misses. So Houston tried to play him off the floor with an all-smalls lineup. But Gobert did his thing. He helped on Harden, closed out hard on Tucker, made him a driver, and stayed with him to force a really hard layup attempt. Pic.twitter.com/8uet217zyke, Andy Larsen @AndyBlarsen, May 3, 2018. Those two players have special length, unique among NBA teams. Exum hasn't played consistently enough, especially offensively, to earn a huge role alongside Gobert yet, but you can see what the potential can be. Doing it against Houston in the playoffs is potential realized. 3 Donovan Mitchell becoming a playmaker. Alec Burks and Jay Crowder deserve huge plaudits for their play off the bench Wednesday night. Burks made a lot of smart decisions with the ball in Game 2, attacking when it suited him and passing when the defense collapsed. 17 points in 22 minutes was huge for the Jazz's offense. Crowder had 15 points, made half of his threes, and had some big defensive rebounds as well. But I want to make sure to look at Mitchell's contribution as a playmaker. Mitchell had a bad shooting game, going just 6 for 21 from the field for 17 points, but had a huge impact as a creator with 11 assists, a career high. That's also a Jazz rookie playoff high. To get those assists, Mitchell learned quickly how to attack a switching defense. Remember how we learned that slipping screens could be effective in attacking Houston's switching defense after Game 1? Well, Mitchell and the Jazz used that trick over and over again to find open Jazz bigs at the rim. He threw in a twist, though. Mitchell opened up the paint by throwing no-look passes, using his head and eyes to move defenders to give his bigs easy dunks. Donovan Mitchell was absurdly good as a playmaker. See how his look-away forces are easy to cut to the corner, leaving a wide-open pass to Favors for a layup? Pic.twitter.com/x5vpceduc, Andy Larsen @AndyBlarsen, May 3, 2018. See how badly Ariza bites on the fake, running to the corner right as the ball is delivered to where he was before. That's a play right up Ricky Rubio's sleeve, and it's clear Mitchell has learned a lot from his point guard mentor. There are some things Rubio can't teach, though. There just aren't many players in the NBA who could be running at the rim like this, but somehow, Mitchell chucked it underhanded backward to Ingles, who attacked for the open and easy layup. And then this pass is just special. How does he scoop it back to Ingles like this so fast while running forwards? It's like magic. Pic.twitter.com/osnickfem, Andy Larsen @AndyBlarsen, May 3, 2018. That's the perfect encapsulation of Mitchell. Pick up the best of what he's been taught, add his own athletic twist to the skill, and end up wowing everyone. I mean, with a guy that's capable of plays like this put-back dunk, where exactly is the limit? We're sorry, currently this live video stream is only available inside of Utah or an approved RSL broadcast territory. We base your location on your IP address. Some providers' IP addresses may show your location outside of the state, even though you are physically within the state boundaries. For more information about RSL on KSL, please see our FAQ.